go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
If you're drunk,
Blasted,
intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove. Control.
Now. It's 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Onwards and upwards, not so fast. It wasn't me, and damn, that hurt. Oh, and keep the champagne on ice. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of Thursday for you. Holy smokes, is there a lot going on. From the playoffs, which playoff baseball is just dope. It just is. To you better check your fantasy quarterback, because with bye weeks and injuries and benchings, and you just better check your fantasy quarterbacks. To the baseball stuff, did I already say that? Because it's really dope. To the golf was so good, and New Mexico United trying to clinch it. College football last night. What's up? And boy, do we got a lot to do today. Opening drive on a Thursday. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
I didn't know what to look at yesterday. Literally, like wearing out my remotes wherever I was. At the office during the day watching the baseball, and then the golf was like, I can't stop raving about the NB3 match play golf out at Twin Warriors. Was so good. The baseball, and then trying to catch some storm coverage in there, which, holy smokes, God bless those people. And then the Aggies last night. With everything from the Dodgers staying alive to the Mets clinching to the Yankees getting a late victory, another shutout for the Tigers who are on the brink of the ALCS, to United last night with a chance to clinch home field advantage, getting beat at home, to the Aggies getting rolled on the road, to the golf, to Aaron Rodgers, like it wasn't me. What's your highlight from yesterday?
It was an unbelievable day of action. I was right there with you, bouncing around all over the place.
Let's start with baseball, because I do think that's the biggest story. And as much as I want to sit here and start in this market with the Dodgers, it's got to be the Mets, because Francisco Lindor hit a grand slam in the 6th inning, and the Mets win. They eliminate the Phillies, and if the Padres win, there will be no division champions left in the National League. The Tigers are one game away from eliminating Cleveland. It could be the Yankees are the only division champion left by the time we get to the weekend, which is somewhat crazy. It validates the wild card in some respects. Look, dude, teams get hot, right? Diamondbacks got hot last year and won the World Series. Diamondbacks came out of nowhere in a lot of respects, got hot and won the World Series. The Mets have that feel, do they not?
Absolutely. And part of getting hot is the way that you're playing over a few weeks, and to be able to carry that momentum is really impressive. And it was started on that last day, the doubleheader. They got it done, and then you see the stars are showing out for these teams that are getting hot or continuing their streaks. And Francisco Lindor, a grand slam, another postseason grand slam this week, and watch out now.
Yeah, no, watch out now. The Mets are really good, and they're going to get a couple of days off. They'll head west. They'll play either the Dodgers or the Padres because that game is going to a decisive Game 5. It will be in Dodger Stadium. I'm going to guess it's going to be Yamamoto against King, probably. Is that where they go?
What a game from Dave Roberts, by the way.
Well,
Let's
what did
go.
he use? 8 relievers last night? 8 relievers. And you, I think John Smoltz is really good. What do you think of John Smoltz on
Good baseball broadcast.
I think he's really good. And he made the point, because this was a bullpen game. Dodgers have probably more money invested in starting pitchers than anybody ever has in the history of baseball, right? And none of them are available. Like Yamamoto is and Buehler is, but neither one of them were very good. Where are you going? You've got between May and Kershaw and Gosling and Glasnow and everybody's out. Everybody's hurt. And so, like Smoltz said, nobody goes to a bullpen game because you want to. You don't ever go to but they did. And he used 8 pitchers. The pitcher who threw the most threw 1 2/3 innings, and that was Alex Vesia. He threw 1 2/3. And Dave Roberts had a plan. And now everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the face, and they didn't get hit in the face. Right? He had a plan. I was going to go, here's my first inning guy, second inning guy, all the way through. And Smoltz made a really good point, I thought, early in the game. If you're the Padres, this one was about 3-0, and the final was 8-0. He said, if you're the Padres, you're sticking around, you're in it, you know you can hit, and you're just waiting for the dude who comes out of the bullpen who's not on today. Well, they were all on today, right? I mean, the Dodgers gave up 7 hits, and they mashed a little bit. They hit some home runs. They got started. It feels like Mookie Betts is on track now. He went, 2 for 5, hit the home run early. And the Dodgers, I didn't see that coming, and they swung it off of Dylan Cease yesterday. They chased him after an inning and 2/3 on a short rest, and they put out 12 hits. And Dodgers get out of San Diego. They were ready to party in San Diego last night. And I'll tell you what, tickets were going. A bunch of my buddies who were down there, some of them Dodger fans. Like the Dodger fans wanted nothing to do with it. Here, I'm selling my tickets. Who wants them? You're cheap, $500 a ticket. Like go. I was surprised, man. 8-0 LA dominated. I don't think it phases San Diego, but it's a toss-up going into Game 5 on Friday.
I'm right there with you. I was surprised that, I know it was short rest, but the quick trigger on Cease, just not let him work through that, and it fell behind. The pitching was fantastic, and that's what it comes down to. And yes, it's sports, high expectations for these teams. There's pressure, there's areas you want to point. You got to perform. And the Dodgers pitching stuff wasn't performing. And there's no changes to make at this point in time of, Dave Roberts, this or that. Like, you have to go out there and perform. And the dudes that he put out there stepped up. 8 relievers to get it done. What a day it was. We had 2 teams with bullpen games. The Dodgers and the Detroit Tigers ended up shutting out their opponent.
Both of them. There's something to know when you're only going to go out there for an inning. And this is why there's part of me that buys into the argument that it's harder to hit in today's day than it was, 20, 30 years ago, because you had guys going 6, 7, 8, 9 innings. And by the time they get, 100-plus pitches in, and you've seen them twice or 3 times, the advantage starts to shift over to the hitter, where now, as everybody's coming out and emptying the tank. Because, I only got to throw 15, 18 pitches. I'm only throwing 1 inning. That's my job, is to come out and unload it. And that's what they did. And so the Dodgers are alive. The Padres are, I think, fine. I got to believe they go with King, and they're not going to be fazed by this. National League is not set. It's the Mets and then whoever the Padres or Dodgers. The American League's interesting. Yankees took a 2-1 lead in Kansas City. Giancarlo Stanton hit the go-ahead home run in the 8th inning. And that was another bullpen battle by that point in the game. Stanton had 3 hits, drove in 2. He stole a base. It was the first stolen base for him in 4 years. Is that right? It's insane. Royals used 4 relievers. And they tried to answer off of Luke Weaver in the bottom of the 8th. Bobby Witt Jr.'s first hit of the series finally. But it was the Yankees who hold on. And then the Tigers, man. They sent 6 pitchers out there. They shut out Cleveland for the 2nd straight game. Cleveland's got sticks, dude. This is a bit of a stunner to me. And the more I watch the Tigers, the more I really like the Tigers. But
It's Met like.
in regards to the momentum,
Mhm.
yeah, the vibe, the feel to
They
it.
were like 31-13.
The
Finished
last
the season, the
yeah.
Tigers were.
So, and like I told you, I learned a lot when I was there. I just kind of like them. And you don't know who they are. Guardians are good, dude. Guardians had a hell of a season. This is a team that had a bye in the American League. What does a bye do for you? Dodgers are close to being eliminated. Phillies are eliminated. Guardians need to win 2 in a row. Yankees, we'll see. But it's something else. Man, the baseball was really good. All right. You can get in on all the baseball you want. We got 2 games today. We will play the American League games today, 4 o'clock in Michigan, Cleveland and Detroit. If the Tigers win, they go on to the American League Championship Series. The 6:08 game over on TBS and True, Yankees in Kansas City. If the Yankees win, they advance to the American League Championship Series. And they're doing all this without Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge hadn't got a hit yet in the series, which is crazy. So you can get in on all that. Jerry Palm will be with us coming up at 8:30 this morning. He of CBS Sports. Looking forward to having some college football conversations with Jerry Palm. We will get into Lobo football. They got Air Force coming up on Saturday at home. We will get into the NFL football because there are a lot of changes in the quarterbacks as you go around the league for this week. I got a ton of thoughts on the NB3 match play out at Twin Warriors. I don't know if you caught it, if you watched it, but JJ, you made such a point. Why the hell weren't we out there doing our show the last couple of mornings? Because that's where we should have been, and we'll try to do that next year. When we come back, Aggies got back into conference play. Conference USA plays weekday games. They were on the road last night. It did not go well. We'll get into that and what it means for New Mexico State moving forward as their quarterback got knocked out of the game. We'll do that when we come back at 505-246-0610, the Sports Animals phone line and our text line. Adrian's producing on the visuals. You can watch us on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico, and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. You can catch us on the X, or at least JJ. It's a great follow, man. If you're not following him, you are missing. He is at _JJ Buck. Hey, who is IPS? Years ago, people asked, well, what are they? Are they cops? What are they? It is affordable private security. And I know you've seen them all around town. You can't miss them, whether it's in your neighborhood or whether it's at the stores you go to. International Protective Service is affordable private security. They protect homes and businesses because property crime's on the rise, because an officer shortage is a real thing, and IPS is catching bad guys and keeping bad guys away. You've worked too hard to build whatever it is you've got, whether it's your home and or your business. Your family's obviously important to you. Don't let the bad guys come in and destroy what you've worked so hard to build. IPS can install alarms and camera systems. They got a state-of-the-art facility that monitors those cameras around the clock. It just raises the level of security around your home and business. I have trusted IPS for years. They come by my home every single day. When I travel, I let them know. They'll pick up newspapers and packages and roll the garbage cans to the curb and back on garbage day, or pick up mail. They do exterior checks for me on a regular basis, making sure that my place is secure. So who's watching your home when you're not there? And hopefully the answer is the good guys. Call IPS. Protect what you've worked so hard to build. The number is 505-897-2420. Area code 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Everguard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Everguard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports, either college or trade.
Tampa Bay Rays going to play next year. You see the damage at Tropicana Field? They ripped the roof off the place. Hurricane Milton just shredded the roof. They were using the place as a shelter for the storm. They're saying, I mean, it's early. They're waking up and seeing how bad it is. You're looking at some of the video from the storm. They say at least 4 are dead. I mean, just thoughts and love and prayers and whatever it is you send to the people in Florida. And if you know people, check on them. But have you looked at any of the pictures yet? At some of the devastation there?
Yes.
It's insane. Yeah, where are they going to play, dude? Or I guess they're going to play outdoors because there's no roof on that place anymore.
Well, the roof was
like
almost like saran wrap.
Right.
So
yeah. I
don't think it's going to be hard to replace. It's going to take a lot of time with everything that's going down.
Well,
in the city.
Good thing that was a shelter, huh? Yeah, thoughts to those people. I mean, God bless them. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to play radio with us this morning. Wednesday night football in Conference USA. New Mexico State has now lost 5 in a row. They went on the road. They were 18.5-point underdogs at Jacksonville State. They got rolled by the Gamecocks 54-13. Jacksonville State recorded 8 rushing touchdowns at Kennesaw State on Friday. They used 6 different running backs to combine for 334 yards on the ground. Aggies were held to just 13 first downs and 220 yards through the first 3 quarters. Santino Marucci got hurt. They had to change quarterbacks. Aggies have lost 5 in a row. They scored 13 points. The last play of the game, they got intercepted in the end zone. Marucci was 3 for 10 for 24 yards before he got hit on a targeting play. He got rocked, too. I mean, you see dude just get up and just like, good-looking dude with good hair. Made sure his hair was okay. But, I mean, he was rocked. They lost Monte Watkins, and I haven't seen any update on him. He got carried out on a stretcher.
They said he was moving and is feeling in all his extremities. So that was positive.
That was an ambulance. That was one of those scary ones. So Parker Awad came in relief, 9 for 16, 120 yards. Aggies are scuffling, and with all the defections, and they'll be back at it next week. A weekday game against Louisiana Tech in Las Cruces. They get a week off after that, and then they go to FIU, who's pretty good. They still have to play Western Kentucky, who's pretty good. Texas A&M, who's really good, and they'll close with Middle Tennessee and UTEP. 1-5 is New Mexico State. At some point, we'll talk to Tony Sanchez. I don't know what our schedule's going to be with him with the weekday games. But JJ, I just watched him, and early on, okay, they took a 3-0 lead. You're like, okay, all right. And it was 7-3 after 1, and then they gave up 26 points to Jack State in the second quarter, and it was ball game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they couldn't continue any development with Marucci at the quarterback position, but overall, this is a team that is struggling, and I just kept going back to, man, you got an Air Force team that is struggling themselves.
For New
but
Mexico?
From watching Lobos get 40 points at offense.
Yeah. And as Bronco Mendenhall told us when he was on with us the Monday after that game, he said a lot of them were chunk plays late in the game, and he almost dismissed them as late game stuff. But the bottom line is the bottom line.
The 84-yard touchdown that they gave up wasn't late in the game.
Yeah. No, I'm just paraphrasing what the head coach said. I'm not making the explanations. Text line says, hey, where's Big Mouth Aggie Jason? Thumped at home by the Lobos. Is a 10-point loss thumped? At what point are you thumped? Is 10 points thumping? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. You can tell me if it is. Thumped at home by the Lobos, and then a 54-13 beatdown last night to Jacksonville State. Jason, where are you? That's on the text line this morning. Also got it on the, let's see. Lars decided it was Curse of the New Mexico Bowl. Announcers keep asking what happened to New Mexico State, Jeff. It's more than just mercenaries, okay? I don't know, BYU seems to be doing all right. SMU seems to be doing pretty well, don't they?
It's pretty simple to figure out what happened in Mexico State.
Right.
All their good players and coaches.
They're all in Nashville? They're all in Nashville?
Yes.
Beat number 1 Alabama? You mean that's what happened?
Pretty simple.
I mean, they just, yes. Mike says, Jason and Jerome, where are you? Jeff Alou, NMSU had a week off to rest and prepare for that. What happened to the football school? Now the Aggies get Louisiana Tech on short rest. Well, all right, go ahead, roll in, man. You're in. Bruce, Meltdown and Jax. Ooh, I can't wait to hear from Tony the Tiger. Jeff, I was hoping award-winning OD could call Tiger the Tiger of halftime of that mess. Tiger of halftime of that mess. Thank you, Bruce. Yeah. Lobo fans just piling on, man. You feeling good now? You better win a few games yourself now. I know you beat them. Lobo fans been waiting 2 years plus to pile on them. So they're piling on them. Aggie fans been feeling pretty good about football for the last couple of years. Year and a half. Right?
As they should have.
As they should have. You know why? They went to a conference championship game.
Because you need to enjoy the moments.
Isn't that the truth? I mean, if this doesn't
few and far
that,
between football in the state.
If this doesn't just explain that to you, seriously. What do you get football-wise tonight? Well, you get the National Football League. And we'll have it for you right here on The Sports Animal, your home for the National Football League. We'll start you off Thursday Night Football with an NFC West showdown at the top. It is the first place Seahawks and the second place 49ers. It'll be Geno against Purdy. And Niners are 3.5-point favorites in the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest. Everybody seems relatively healthy. PPR League, Wendell Robinson or Jackson Smith and Jigba tonight? It's really close, right? It's really close. The Giants play.
I do like Wendell Robinson with or without Neighbors playing.
In a PPR league,
yes.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
the Bengals defense, that's no bueno.
He'll be like 7 catches for 22 yards. But he caught a touchdown.
He did. Got an end zone.
Smith and Jigba's hit or miss. I think there's points tonight, don't you? You know, I always like the home team on a Thursday night. I always like if I bet the game, you're going to give me 3.5 points on a home dog on a Thursday, on a team that's kind of scuffling.
Kind of got a win game for the 49ers.
Yeah. But that 3 and a hook is a big hook. Kind of like Seattle tonight on the bet. I don't know if I go money line on them, but I usually like home teams on Thursday night. Also, what do you get? There's got to be some college football tonight, doesn't there? Because Conference USA plays on Thursday nights, and there will be. I believe UTEP plays tonight. I talk about another team that's scuffling, huh? The Miners play Western Kentucky on the road. That's an ESPNU game. Miners looking for their first win. And Middle Tennessee and Louisiana Tech, a pair of 1-win teams. I don't know how many. Conference USA going to have any bowl eligibles? How many left in the country? There's not many teams left who have not won a game. There's 2 in Conference USA, Kennesaw State, who's transitioning to do FBS, and UTEP, and then Kent State in the MAC, and I believe that to be it. I think there's just 3 teams left in FBS who have not won a game, JJ. 3 of them, and UTEP's one of them. They'll play tonight. All right, when we come back, I want to talk about like a really cool event, and I hope you saw it. I hope you got to be part of it. And here, Aggie fan, you want to gloat? You want to take the hurt off of football? I got something for you. You guys beat Texas yesterday, and you beat Stanford. Oh, and maybe even better, you beat New Mexico, and it was on national TV. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
A little love, and actually quite a bit of love for New Mexico and the Santa Ana Pueblo and college golf on the Golf Channel yesterday. I don't know if you caught any of it, if you remembered it was on. Congratulations. Seriously, congratulations to Nota Begay, to Derek Gutierrez, to everybody out at Santa Ana Pueblo for putting on the NB3 match play. It was Texas and Stanford, New Mexico State and New Mexico, both their men's and women's teams, who came in for a two-day match play out at Twin Warriors Golf Club. It was televised on the Golf Channel. Nota was on the call, and it came down literally to the final putts. And JJ, I know I told you I was riveted by this match play. And I know New Mexico State got beaten football last night, 54-13 on the road at Jacksonville State, but maybe it makes you feel better. Their men's golf team won the match play. The overall, so you have they have three champions, like the overall men's and women's combined, that was Texas. And then the women was Texas, I believe. And the overall, or the men's, was New Mexico State, held on and beat Texas by a half a point. They beat New Mexico State. They beat New Mexico, they beat Texas, and they beat Stanford. So the Aggies can claim, I mean, that's a big win for them. That's huge to beat two of the best programs in America in Stanford and in Texas, and to beat a really good New Mexico program in match play. They were kind of like the extra team. I don't want to say extra. They were the fourth team in there as far as what the rankings were, what the expectations were. And so they played New Mexico, and so their matches had finished up, and you were watching Texas, and Texas had to sweep all the matches coming down the stretch against Stanford. And the final match came down to like the final putts, and both players made par, and so they have the match. In New Mexico State, who played Texas the day before, they won the trophy. I thought it was really cool. And JJ, I told you I was riveted. I found myself in my office, 5:30. I'm watching this. I'm like, dude, you got to go. And I put it on my phone, and I was in the store getting dinner, and I had it on my phone in my ear, in my little basket as I was collecting. It was really, really cool. And the visuals, like, the day couldn't have been more perfect. The place looked, I mean, you know how beautiful Twin Warriors is. It looked gorgeous. just congratulations, man. It was, and I know Notice said it was everything that he could have hoped it would be. You never know when you plan an event. You may have a great game, you may have a blowout, you may have a great match, you may not. This thing was just epic. Just epic.
Hit a home run with it.
Yeah, I hope people caught some of that. And congratulations, because, I mean, damn, and for New Mexico and New Mexico State to get that sort of national television pub for 2 straight days on Golf Channel was spectacular. So congratulations. All right, your boy Aaron Rodgers. So he's Shaggy now, right? It wasn't me. Is that how this is? I don't even know where to start, JJ. The fact that he says that it's interesting the amount of power that people think I have, which I don't. I love Robert. We're talking about Robert Saleh and did he get him fired and did he know? I'm not going to sit here and claim I think Aaron Rodgers got Robert Saleh fired, the head coach of the Jets. But it's hard for me to sit here and believe that Woody Johnson, the owner of the team, JJ, said that he spoke with Rodgers the day before. And it never came up that he was firing the coach, or never had a conversation about it, or never gauged his franchise quarterback's thoughts. And let me tell you something. If he did, and I believe he did, and I believe he should, I believe it was the right thing. If you're making a decision on your organization and you're the boss, don't you consult with your most important people, the people who work with that person every single day, and get thoughts? You've got your opinion, you got your feel from hovering at 10,000 feet, but don't you want to get a little bit of insight from what's going on? Like, if you're Woody Johnson, wouldn't you have discussed with Rodgers, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, what do you think?
I would say yes to that. I do think there's an element of sport with your best players. You want to have discussions with them. It feels less so in football than opposed to other sports. I think a lot of people don't like that mindset because they don't want the whole, players can't run the whole organization type of mindset. But what stands out to me in this is, Rodgers, yes, he's trying to deny, hey, I didn't have anything to do with this. I can't get someone fired. But the fact that absolutely no one believes him,
right?
What does that say about the situation? No one believes anything Aaron Rodgers says.
And he's offended by this, right? He's really, really bothered by this. And what was the word he used? Was it offended? I resent the allegations. He's offended by it. What do you think of his tone on McAfee yesterday? Like, because he was very defensive, I thought.
It was really fascinating because for someone that wants, be edgy and poke everything and be out there, he really felt the pressure of this.
I'll give him credit for going in front of it.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit.
I didn't expect him to run away from it, but it's one that, let's say you take a step back and say, all right, what does this say about you, Aaron, that no one believes what you're saying? Yeah. And he could be telling the absolute truth, and everyone's still just like, no.
You think he's telling the truth?
I don't think it was. I think there was more to it than he had nothing to do with it. Because what this does for the Jets, this doesn't make them better. You lose Robert Saleh. Your DC is now going to have to make head coaching decisions. Mm-hmm. And that was the one unit that was really good. And the changes needed to just be figuring out, what are you doing offensively? What is the play calling going to be? Aaron Rodgers can't be throwing the football 50 times a game.
When you have Breece Hall and Braylon, was it Braylon Edwards? Braylon, it's the rookie.
Allen.
I knew that wasn't right when I said it. Quote Rodgers, as far as any of the ridiculous allegations out there, I'm not going to spend more than one sentence in response to it. And that is that I resent any of those accusations because they are patently false. It's interesting the amount of power that people think I have, which I don't. I love Robert. That's 3 sentences, by the way. Again, I don't know that people are saying you pulled the trigger on the dude. I don't know that, although there's probably some that are. But I think it would be patently, false, irresponsible, hard to believe that you had no say in this. Because you've had a say in everything that goes on. To say, how do people think I have that much power? Really, dude? You've done everything that you want to do, everything since you've been there, even when you didn't play, was molded around you. You brought in Cobb, your buddy, who probably should have been retired then, right? Randall Cobb? You brought in your buddies to play receiver. You brought in your guy was already there, but that was in place to bring you in. Why is it so odd to think that you've got power? And by the way, why would it be odd to think that any franchise quarterback in any place has power? Why would it be odd to think that Joe Burrow would be consulted, or Lamar would be consulted, or Mahomes would be consulted, or Matthew Stafford would be consulted if ownership was making a coaching change? I mean, we talk about all the time, well, LeBron should be in on this. This is LeBron saying I had nothing to do with J.J. Redick's hiring.
Yes. And same thing happened. Like, don't believe that.
Right? I mean, it's like, I know they hired my buddy, and, we have a podcast, and I know he has no coaching experience, but I had nothing to do with this. By the way, why the hell do I have to go to Milwaukee for a preseason game? I can't believe dude's already whining about traveling preseason, by the way. That's a whole nother story.
You don't have to go.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Just let Bronny play 40 minutes if you want.
You don't have to play it all, dude. Your arena's under construction. You got to go on the road. I mean, you can go play in UC Irvine's gym, I imagine. Like, what? Anyway, is there anybody who believes this? Roger said, he'll support Jeff Ulbrich, who's the interim coach. Well, that's nice of him. Good. I'll support our new coach. He was asked, were you surprised? I don't think anybody inside this building, player-wise or anything, thought that he had anything to do. Oh, no, this is the tight end, Tyler Conklin. He believes Rodgers. I don't think anybody inside this building, player-wise or anything, thought that he had anything to do with that. I honestly, truly believe that. I mean, Aaron probably took this harder than almost anybody. Yeah, because he's going to take the hit for it. Yes. I don't know that it matters. Honestly, I don't know that it matters.
It does matter.
Does it?
Because we were talking yesterday, the Jets' time affecting his legacy.
In that regard, it does. I'm thinking as far as in the media and the football team. Yeah,
I think it does.
Okay.
Because you're changing a coach for a reason.
Yes.
What's the feeling? Why are they changing coach? Is the team going to react positively? Are you getting the kind of reaction you want for it? And if the team is looking at Aaron Rodgers going, well, this dude's calling all the shots, are they going to care who the head coach is? Or are they going to be like, man, we need to just worry about Aaron?
I got called for holding on a play that called back a 27-yard pass. Is he going to try to get me fired too? No, seriously. I guess that's fair. It comes down to the people want to play with Rodgers. And I don't know that he's ever had the reputation of being a bad teammate, although I don't know that he's ever had the reputation of being a good teammate. I don't know what his reputation is. But I will give you something that was somewhat telling. And I did hear this a couple of days ago, and it made me think. So when Rodgers was on the market, right, how many teams clamored, how many coaches that you consider pretty good coaches who could have used a quarterback were clamoring for Rodgers to come there? Mike Tomlin probably could have used a quarterback. He's considered a good coach. Did he go out of his way to try to get Rodgers there? Pete Carroll was still at Seattle at that point. He's considered a pretty good coach. Was he clamoring? I'm not sure Sean Payton was. Although, yeah, Sean Payton probably was. Yeah, the Broncos. Well, I don't know.
Coaching
2 seasons ago? That was when he first got there, right?
No, it was Nathaniel Hackett. They hired Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh, yeah.
And traded for Russell Wilson because they thought they're getting Aaron Rodgers out of Green Bay, and he stayed that one more year in Green Bay.
Okay, fair. But okay, so
then they had Russell Wilson.
Yeah, so he couldn't go there, although he should have. All right, but I mean, how many of the good coaches were clamoring? Belichick was still there, right? At that point, did he go out and try to get Rodgers? Did I mean, pick your team. Does that say anything to you? Should it say anything to you?
It does. And I do think that was one where assets come into it, because it was a little different than the Brady situation where he was in control in terms of just a free agent. You didn't have to worry about what you're going to send, what's going to cost.
Like you said yesterday, man, you always figure out a way, right? You always figure out a way to make it work and move money around and push it down the line. If a team really wanted Rodgers, they could have got him. New England could have. Miami could have. New England could have. Seattle could have. There were a number of teams at that point who were looking. Mike Vrabel was the coach of Tennessee at that point, I believe. He decided to go with Will Levis and whatever the mess he had there last year. Malik Willis, I believe, was still part of it, right? He could have. There were a lot. Mike Tomlin could have. None of them did. I'm just saying. 505-246-0610. Jerry Palm will be with us coming up at 8:30 from CBS Sports. We'll talk college football on the national level. Talk to him about the big one, 2 versus 3 in Eugene this weekend. Ohio State and Oregon. On the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
Got a clarification on the thumping. I asked, what defines a thumping? I got the text from Lobo. I don't know who this is. Maybe I do. It's a Lobo fan, Aggie hater. Said, where's Big Mouth Aggie Jason? Thumped at home by the Lobos, then a 54-13 beatdown last night at Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville, not Jackson State. Jason, where are you? I know you guys, like if you're a Lobo, you're above having to know that it's Jacksonville State as opposed to Jackson State. He said it's karma. Played strength of schedule 131 out of 133 last year. Peed on the Lobo field, took out billboard ads, and Albuquerque boasting about a season last year that ended with 2 lopsided loss. Karma, karma, karma. The golf card to make your Aggies feel better? ? You're kidding, right? By the way, the Lobos won by 10, but that was a 17-point game most of the way, and never in doubt. Yeah, thumped. Was I kidding? Should I not have talked about the?
Stop being such an Aggie fan, Jeff.
Yeah, somewhat kidding as far as make you feel better about football. That you beat
if the Lobos
Texas and
win 6 games and go to a bowl game.
Yeah,
I better not hear a word from whoever just texted.
Although that will tell you how great they are, and can you bring up their strength of schedule on the back end? You can't do that.
Of course you can.
Okay.
Now, if I'm New Mexico State, I'm doing the same exact thing. They're not doing it for you.
That's right.
They're not doing it for Lobo fan. They're doing it for their fan base. Dude, these moments are so few and far between. Like, miss me with your strength of schedule BS. Give me something to enjoy as a fan.
No. Not if it's your rival.
I'm not going to look at it. I'm not saying that. Yeah, you're going to hate what your rival does, whatever. They could, solve world hunger and be like, they're stupid. I get it. I've done this long enough. But there's things that just grind on me so much. Like, people get offended when teams try to market themselves.
Unless it's your team. Yeah, unless it's your team.
I know that, but I don't miss me with strength of schedule.
No, I'm with you. 1,000%.
Lobos went 12-0. I could care less who they beat as long as it was Division I football team.
That's right. Well, you can throw one FCS team in there.
Take your free square.
Yep.
Stop scheduling top 5 FCS teams.
Yep.
And then try to win 5 more games.
Yep. You can do that, which they've done. By the way, did they play 2 FBS or 2 power teams last year? And on the golf thing, it was totally separate. Yeah, I tied it into making you feel better. Was that somewhat kidding? Yeah. But isn't that significant for your golf program? To go to something like that on national TV?
No one cares about Olympic sports.
And to beat Texas and to beat Stanford and to beat New Mexico? And that's kind of that doesn't, unless it was your team, then it would be really cool, right? Okay, I just want to make sure I understand. This one's from John. It says, hey guys, I believe Aaron Rodgers I mean, if you think about it, the firing of the head coach is due to Aaron Rodgers and Coach Saleh simply not seeing eye to eye on anything related to the game of pro football. It's Aaron's way or the vast highway. Bro, see ya. Thanks, Jeff and JJ. It's John in the Duke City. Go LA Dodgers in Game 5. So what do you mean? So you believe him that he didn't have anything to do with it, but then he says they just simply didn't see eye to eye, and so the coach is out. All right. I mean, if you believe him, that's cool. I got no problem with it. I think, as you said, almost nobody does. What do you think of DJ Moore saying his quarterback is bossy? Is that a compliment, or is that a hit at your quarterback? Rookie quarterback Caleb Williams, quote from DJ Moore: "He's been bossy lately at times when we need to be on the details." That was his quote. Calling someone bossy, is that good? Is that a positive? Is that a negative in this situation? I think it's a positive. He's taking it to me, dude finally feeling his way. He's taking control.
Because we assume everything in these situations.
Has to be negative.
I think it's just phrasing. I think Caleb Williams is trying to step up, take control of the situation. And it doesn't sound like DJ Moore has any problem with it. And he's coming off 2 touchdown performances, getting the football, a winning game.
Throw it to me, boss.
He's fine.
Throw me the ball, boss. I'll catch it. Yeah. Sounds a little sassy. You know what I mean? I think partially it was me learning everybody and understanding how everybody reacts to certain things. That was Caleb Williams' response. Yeah, dude, be the boss. Be the quarterback, for crying out loud. Be the freaking boss. You belong. Takes a second to realize you belong, doesn't it? You'll be another rookie this week. Throw another rookie in there. Actually, throw in 2 more this week. 2 rookies making their first start this weekend in the NFL. How's that going to fare? It's the opening drive. Let's go. 505-246-0610. Glad you're with us on a Thursday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient. They're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King. And
New Mexico United trying to wrap up home field advantage throughout the playoffs. In the Western Conference playoffs, lose to Phoenix Rising 2-1. Phoenix Rising, it's one of those who needs it more games, right? Phoenix was at the bottom of the table, like at the eight right at that 8-9 number. When 8 teams get in, they needed it much more than New Mexico, and they got it last night.
Split a pair of PKs in the first half, and then they snuck one past Tambakis in the second half, and luckily for United, some other teams dropped, and so they'll have another opportunity to try to clinch that on the spot on the weekend.
Yeah, Sacramento draw last night, and they're scuffling down the stretch. I mean, they've only won one of their last 5. Sacramento, the team behind them, so they'll have home field advantage. Why is it no matter which hometown broadcast I listen to, and when you watch the ESPN Plus broadcast, their guys never, like, whenever there's a penalty kick, it's the right call, and whenever it's against them, it's the wrong call. Their guys never commit a foul.
It's kind of broadcasting 101.
Is that just how it is? Like, if your guys don't ever commit a foul, and the other guys always do? Just asking. Yeah, I don't agree with that call. Oh, that's a great call when your guy gets the penalty. And it's not just the local guys. It's the local guys all around the league. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so next up they get Tulsa, who's kind of near the bottom of the table, and they should wrap it up. That'll be their next match. All right, you get another pair of rookie quarterbacks going to start in the National Football League this weekend. The headliner, I think, is going to be in New England. Drake May is going to get the start. They've gone to Drake May against Houston. I don't know when the right time to throw him in is. They're not a good team, and there's a real belief that, oh my goodness, you can't do this. The poor guy, you're gonna beat the career out of him. You're gonna throw him out there. It's gonna be David Carr-esque. He's gonna get sacked. And look, they haven't been any good with Jacoby Brissett. They won their opener, which is stunning. But in the last, the last 4 weeks, they scored 20 against Seattle and a loss, 3 against the Jets, 13 against the Niners, 10 against the Dolphins. They've scored 26 points in the last 3 weeks. Here come the Texans, then the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Titans, and the Bears. I don't know where the easy spot is, the soft spot is to throw the guy in. This is a really delicate one for me because you don't want to go out there and destroy a guy. And in a lot of situations, and we saw it with Jordan Love, we saw it with Aaron Rodgers, we saw it with Patrick Mahomes, you sit behind a veteran for a year, you learn a year or years, plural, and you learn the game and you become a good quarterback. And then there's plenty of situations where you go in right off the top. Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud will watch it. You go in and you hit your first year. But with a really bad team, how do you expect Drake May to be really good? But the other side of the coin is, dude, I got a roster of 53 dudes who I owe it to them as well to try to win football games, right? They're professionals. We don't go into a meeting room every day, and we don't go on the practice field every day and walk into a stadium every week saying, yeah, we're going to get beat. Well, we're just no good. We're working on the future. The guys in that locker room don't give a crap because they're playing for their livelihood. And so you've got an obligation to those guys to try to be good. And if Gerard Mayo, a first-year coach, decides Jacoby Brissett's not good enough, and I don't know if Jacoby Brissett's the only answer, but he's not been good, then I got to make a change.
But you have to play two different worlds.
But how do you do that?
You have to be on the same page with the front office.
Okay.
Your owner has to buy in. Because the reason Drake May wasn't playing is no one was hiding the fact they were not a good football team.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a good offensive
And they're
line.
still not.
They're not. So you have to understand, hey, we're taking a step forward now with Drake May, and he's going to take his lumps. And we'll see if we get a spark, and that's where the front office, the owner has to be on the same page. Like, this could be really bad, but we believe for the team it's a chance to learn and take steps forward. You're playing both worlds. It's not one or the other with the young quarterback. You have to be all in that it could look really bad.
And that's where you are now, right?
Yeah.
As you just made this shift. So you were playing one world until
Well, it has to be all in
now.
because then you don't want to be the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young, where you're firing a coach in season, year one, you're all over the place. So you have to understand, you're right. Everyone else is out there working for their jobs, but this is still all about the development of Drake May. It doesn't matter if their nickel cornerback is going to be any good or not.
Yeah.
It's the future of the franchise is Drake May. So you have to play in both worlds, and you have to be on the same page with the front office, the coaching staff, going, yeah, we're doing what we can, showing up every day to compete, to get better. We all have jobs, so we're getting paid, but this is a long process.
All right, so you're a quarterback on that team, and you guys are playing pretty well. I mean, yeah, you gave up 30 to the Niners, but, I mean, you gave up 15 last week, 24 the week before, 23 the week before. You're not getting gashed every week. You got a decent, okay, but I got to go out, and now I'm like, I'm in preschool, right? I almost got to, like, how do you feel? How do you keep a team together?
As long as the checks keep cashing.
I guess that's fair. You're a pro. Yeah, you're a pro.
They drafted a rookie quarterback.
Yep. But I had a veteran here who was supposed to, he's our guy.
Not good.
I know.
And they made the change.
I know.
Is it stink? Absolutely.
Is this it for Jacoby Brissett, by the way?
Part of the process of being on a team like this.
Yeah.
Like the Jaden Daniels, C.J. Stroud, we've had two that were like, wow, in back-to-back years. Those are still.
And Caleb Williams is getting
Barbara.
better now, right? Caleb Williams is getting better, right? I got like right now, there's 6 in the first round. 2 of them.
There's not anyone on this Patriots offense that you'd put in, that you'd take and put on any of those.
No, they have no receivers. I think they got a couple of tight ends. They got a couple of good tight ends.
Hunter Henry could be fine. Other places.
So there were 6 first-round picks, right? 2 of them haven't played in Penix and McCarthy, right? Knicks is 3-2.
3-2.
I mean, Jaden Daniels has been spectacular. Caleb Williams feels like he's finding his groove. And then this is the other one, right? This week, so 3 haven't played at all. We're going to see one this. Well, I mean, he got some garbage duty, but that didn't. Right? There was a mop-up game on a Thursday night where they threw him out there to get his ass kicked against the Jets. That doesn't count. So 3 basically haven't played. One's been spectacular. One is starting to show he's really good. The other one hadn't been great, but he's 3-2. Okay. Now we're going to see another one. Saints are starting another rookie, Spencer Rattler. He'll start against Tampa Bay. He was a 5th-round pick out of South Carolina. This was going to be him or Jake Haener, the quarterback out of Fresno State. Quote from Dennis Allen, the head coach. Dennis Allen? That's the right Allen, right? We just internally talked a lot about it and felt like this particular game, that he was going to give us the best chance to win. That's not his job. I won't be surprised if we see Jake Haener if he doesn't play well. 3 preseason appearances. Rattler was 20 of 38. Touchdown, no interceptions. It's a tough spot, man. It's a tough spot for a 5th-round pick to go in, and here you go. In a big divisional game. Is this sit all your Saints? I got Kamara and Olave, dude. And the damn kicker, for that matter.
I think Olave is a question mark. If the options you're describing, to me, that's a different conversation. But in terms of fantasy football, you probably can't sit Olave with bye weeks, what you invested in him in your draft. You just have to hope that if Rattler locks into one dude, he'll somehow get Olave 10 targets.
This is going to be an interesting watch. I honestly, and I'm not even going to pretend I know enough about Spencer Rattler. Watched a little of him in college, but they're all good college quarterbacks now. Jake Haener was a really good college quarterback. They're all really good college quarterbacks. And, Bryce Young, obviously was evaluated to be a really good pro. He's been struggling.
Rattler's really fascinating case study because he was a star coming out of high school. He got a really bad rap because he had a really bad attitude as a young kid. And there was the Netflix special they were doing, like, quarterbacks coming out of high school. And you'd watch that, and Rattler was a kid that you're like, oof. Like, this dude needs to grow up. Don't want him anywhere around my team. And he bounced around a couple places and was at Oklahoma and then ended up at South Carolina. So he had that, like, narrative with him. But it sounds like over the last couple years.
Life will humble you.
Yeah. He's grown up, and he's, in terms of talent-wise, he was one of the top quarterbacks in the country coming out. So he's always had that on his side.
All right, so talk me into it. He's 24 years old. It's not like he's an immature kid.
Even Jake Haener was there. He's been in that system, and yet they're going Rattler. So let's keep an eye on it.
Here's the other piece, and you mentioned something, and I hear a lot of commentators talk about this a lot. The Jeff Saturday kind of guys. These quarterbacks who played a lot of years, like Anthony Richardson. And we don't talk much about Anthony Richardson, and he came in. He was the number 5 overall pick last year. As a quarterback out of Florida and with Indianapolis, and he's been hurt and he's not been successful. I heard when he started the game this year, he made his 20th start, not his pro start, in his life. That included college and high school, right? And you're going, wait, how can that even be? And then I look at a 24-year-old guy who has played a lot of football, and I listen to a lot of these guys talk about. Look at the guys who are being successful. They're older. They played a lot of football. Jaden Daniels played a lot of football for Herm Edwards at Arizona State before he went to LSU, right? And he played with Antonio Pierce at Arizona State. And there's a lot to be said. Caleb Williams played a lot of football, right? And look, there's no surefire on this. There's no exact formula. But the trend towards maybe a little older. Look, basketball, you want that kid who's 18 for whatever reason because you're going to get him forever. But there's something about the guys who have played a lot, especially at that position, and I'm starting to buy into that. And here I got a 24-year-old rookie who's played a lot of football. And, look, has he had those issues? Jake Haener, the guy sitting behind him, is 25. Right? These kids who are going through these COVID years now and sitting through 5, 6, 7 years of college and are coming out at 24 and 25 years old, I sometimes – and as I watch this theory play out, I start to trust it a little more. Give me a little older, mature guy who's played a bunch of football at quarterback as opposed to the 21-year-old kid who's coming out and started one season at whatever you.
The last year, the year before that, next year, we're getting a lot of these guys.
Yeah, no, we're going to run out of that.
Bo Nix.
Yes.
Played forever.
What is he, 26?
Jaden Daniels was in college. for a long time.
Yeah.
Like he was at Arizona State with Danny Gonzalez.
Yes. Yes.
So just to put the
Jay
time frame
Daniels
in
is 23 years old, right? Bo Nix is I want to say, is
Bo Nix is
25, 24.
But I think what changes that is quarterbacks
24.
playing into their late 30s. You're not like, oh my gosh, we have to get this guy in here now and then keep him around forever. No, you just need the right dude. Doesn't matter if he's
I need
21,
the right dude now.
24. Quarterbacks can play for 12 years.
Yeah, I don't give a damn what he's doing in 12 years. Like, I honestly, with all due respect, I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to be in this job, and he's going to be somewhere. I don't care what he's doing in 12 years.
Yeah.
I need a guy now. I need a guy that's going to win now. And if he's 24, if he's 22, or if he's 38, I don't give a damn Joe Flacco. By the way, that he continues to amaze me. But yeah, that's the quarterback. So and Aiden O'Connell's going to get the start now. He's not a rookie, but they're going back to Aiden O'Connell in Las Vegas. They'll play the Steelers on Sunday. He'll replace Gardner Minshew. Antonio Pierce announced that yesterday. Quote, I mean, it was a quarterback battle early on, and at this point, I think it's best to go with Aiden going forward, end quote. Minshew, now look, when you tell me a guy completed 70%, almost 71% of his passes, I'm impressed. 4 touchdowns in 5 games, but he threw 5 interceptions. The 100-yard pick six at Denver was brutal the other day. O'Connell 5 for 5 as a starter. Is 5-5. 5 wins, 5 losses, 8 touchdowns, and no picks in the Raiders' final 4 games. So they're making a change too. They had to, don't you think? I mean, we all love ourselves some Gardner Minshew, but there's another situation where you're like, what are we doing?
It's not another situation. What are we doing?
Oh, sure it is.
No, it's not. It's you walked into this season with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing.
What am I doing? That's my option.
What the problem is, you got to go with one, and he's got to let Aiden O'Connell play this game and then the next few. You can't be swapping in and out and playing this 5 weeks of season. That's bad on Antonio Pierce. You have to perform, but you're the NFL. You can't just be swapping quarterbacks in game every other week, swapping starters week in and week out. Like, I don't know why.
I agree with that.
Like, this, to me, it should have been either you let Gardner go because you know what you're getting. It's going to be up and down. Or you should have started with Aiden O'Connell from the get-go with the way he finished last season, knowing that Minshew was a dude that could come in and give you a couple weeks.
All right, I've blown up this clock, and we got Jerry Palm coming up in 13 minutes, so I got 2 breaks in between, so I better go. But let me tell you about On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Call them and get your car detailed. They will come to you detailed. What does that mean? Inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, like better than you can do. This is professional, best in the city detailing like the auto dealers do, and they do it at your convenience, at your office, in your parking lot, in your driveway, wherever it works. I don't take my car to them. They come to me. They've got the mobile unit. When they're done, your car looks, it feels, it smells, your truck, whatever you're driving, like the day you took it off the lot. Remember how cool that was? It was fun to drive. You wanted to be in it. That's what they do, and it's not just detailing. It is window tinting. They're a certified 3M dealer. That means they got the best product on the market. Ask them about ceramic tint. 99% of UV infrared rays are blocked. Ask them about paint protection film, ceramic coating. Ask them about their lifetime warranty. It's all at otsdetailing.com. I love that place, and you will as well. otsdetailing.com or 505-859-2859. Area code 505-859-2859.
This report...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
I love that they put that the last game of the year because no matter what the records are, you'll care about that game. Yeah, I think that's what one of the great things about rivalry games being at the end. You don't like that? No matter what the records are, at least you'll go out and you're gonna. Well, I hate the Miners. I hate the Yankees, and you'll go out and watch. You don't think so? Michigan, Ohio State, SC, UCLA,
I don't.
Alabama, Auburn.
Not in the same sense. Not anywhere close.
Yeah, because they're always good. Because they're always. But don't you think that gives you? So look, UTEP's 0-5. The Aggies are 1-5. Pretty good chance they're not playing for bowl eligibility at that point, but they're playing against each other for the Silver Spade or whatever they play for, right?
You're right. I've said enjoy the moment, and that's a moment.
It's something to play for at the end, right? It's something to care about at the end of football season.
Yeah, you get that day.
And if you are playing for bowl eligibility, or one of you are playing for something, and one of you aren't, you got the opportunity to knock your rival out of whatever they're playing for. And if you're both where on the trajectory that they're on, at least you've got a rivalry to play for. Now, they're in the same league, and they'll do that. I'm going to guess the Aggies and Miners will play the last game of the year every year when they're in the Mountain West. Right? They try to do that. Now, the Border War, they don't do that. Colorado State and Wyoming. I do like that. Bruce says, hot take, Jeff, by the end of the season, Aggie fans will be looking for the good old days of fearless Dougie roaming the sidelines of Aggie Memorial in a generic polo shirt, complaining about palm tree in the stands, not having a locker room, and Lobo football having all the resources. Yeah, maybe. Whatever happened to that damn tree?
I assume they pulled it out.
Right?
Should have just been the palm tree section.
Okay, dude. Like literally nobody can understand sarcasm. I saw your face. I heard your tone when you said nobody cares about Olympic sports. It was sarcasm. Did JJ just say nobody cares about Olympic sports? Hasn't his stint at Sports Talk included his analyzing collegiate soccer? C-O-L-E-G-E-N-T, collegiate soccer, S-O-C-C-O-R. Nobody should care what JJ thinks, especially when his opinion is clearly self-centered and his journalistic efforts are clearly lacking media-driven and sensationalistic. I'm sorry.
It's straight up sarcasm.
I mean,
I understand you can't see my face on the radio, but tone-wise, hopefully you got it.
Right. Man, I got it.
I know you did.
Yes.
No one.
You're making a
sincerely media-driven, and I'm going to text this out and listen to your show every day, but I hate it.
And this is and you're sensationalistic for your college and soccer. Yeah, I get it. Jerry Palm, we come back. Let's ask him about collegiate sports.
I'm done.
Olympics.
Today.
Don't be done.
I'm done.
Don't be done, dude.
Meet me in the parking lot.
What are you going to go all Charlie Johnson on me? I need you to meet me in the parking lot. It's the opening drive. When we come back, Jerry Palm's going to be with us from CBS Sports. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
The Sports Animal.
College football week is underway. You get Conference U.S. action throughout the month of October. Then it'll go into action in Fun Belt. Aggies lose last night, fifth straight loss for New Mexico State, 54-13 at Jacksonville State. New Mexico back at it, looking to string 2 wins together. That would be a streak, would it not? Lobos, after a bye week, will be at home, 5 o'clock out at University Stadium against Air Force on Saturday. Pre-game over on News Radio KKOB with JJ and Ned will start at 4 o'clock across the UNM Sports Radio Network. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. One of my favorite times of the week. It's 8:30, and it is whatever morning it is, Thursday, and we check in with our buddy from CBS Sports, Jerry Palm. How you living, Jerry?
Doing all right. How are you?
All right. Crazy week last week, huh? Number 1, number 4, number 10, number 11 all got beat. College football, and kid from Albuquerque, New Mexico's Volcano Vista High School, Diego Pavia, kind of shut down the college football world for a minute with that win over Alabama. It was crazy.
Yeah. We thought it'd be dull. You know, the only game between ranked teams was Mizzou and Texas A&M, and that one ended up dull.
Right.
Although the lower-rated team won, I suppose. But what a crazy weekend. Pavia was terrific. I mean, that's the kind of quarterback Vanderbilt needs to win games like this. You know, somebody who's just fearless, and willing to take chances, but not crazy ones. And I think that, that really, I think that was a big factor in why they were able to win that game.
Yeah, we watched that kid. He was on with us on Monday talking about the win and, his career. And unrecruited out of Volcano Vista, he went to junior college at New Mexico Military Institute. He's a legend at 3 places. He won a national championship down there in Roswell. He led New Mexico State, a program that, the history is obvious and everybody knows about it. Right. 2 straight bowl games and a conference championship game. And then
10 wins.
And 10 wins. And then, I don't know, his biggest victory in the history of Vanderbilt since you tell me when. I mean, that kid's different, man.
It's on the very short list of significant Vanderbilt football victories. Yeah, tremendous. And the celebration was epic. The parading the goalpost, I don't know, like a mile or so.
Well, a couple miles down the road. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever been there, but Broadway, the stretch of bars that ends at the river, but Vanderbilt's up the hill, and so they took it. And my favorite part is the firefighters fished it out of the river. They cut the thing up into like 4-inch and 8-inch pieces, and they sold it to fans to pay off their $100,000 fine. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
It's great.
What's more significant? Because Alabama, I mean, I think probably obviously still has a pass. Tennessee getting beat by Arkansas was interesting. Michigan probably and NSC probably both played their ways out of the playoff, didn't they?
Who?
Michigan and SC by losing to Washington and Minnesota.
Yeah, it's going to be tougher for them to get back because of the schedules they have to play. Like USC now gets to go home and play Penn State.
They're going to beat them.
Michigan's still going to have Ohio State. I mean, it's definitely going to be harder. Michigan's got a leg up on USC because of a head-to-head result.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's going to be harder for both of them. The margin for error got a lot smaller. And another team, I mean, Tennessee, really hurt themselves more so than Alabama because Alabama has a win over Georgia. But, Tennessee still has to play Alabama and Georgia. And we may have talked about this before, but, 10-2 Tennessee with losses only to Alabama and Georgia, but not one significant win unless somebody else ends up being better than we think. That's a team that's going to have trouble to make the playoff. Well, so I've always said they had to win one of those games just to make the playoff. Well, now they definitely have to win one of those games because 9-3 is not going to get you in. I don't think this year 9-3 is getting anybody in.
Yeah, not with a loss to Arkansas. Jerry Palm
10-3 might because you lose a championship game in your league.
But how are you getting in the championship game with 3 losses?
No, I don't think they get in the championship game with 3 losses. I'm saying if a 10-2 team loses its championship game and finishes 10-3, they still have a shot.
Yeah, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, you look at games like that, Jerry, and another SEC one, Ole Miss at LSU this weekend. What do you make of those two teams right now?
Yeah, that's a big game. Of course, Ole Miss had their less than spectacular loss the week before to Kentucky at home, I believe. That was a home game for them. So, and that's another one that's got a relatively soft schedule. So, this is a big game for them. I had them pegged to lose this game before the season. I mean, I don't know who's favored. LSU probably should be favored. They're at home, but if they're not, I guess I understand that. But that is a huge game for really both of these teams because I don't think the loser is really going to have much of a chance to make the playoff. The winner still has some work to do. But I think the loser has got a problem in terms of trying to make the college football playoff.
Well, you are seeing a rivalry now that is in the SEC with Texas and Oklahoma. Texas, 14.5-point favorites. But how good are the Longhorns regardless of who's playing quarterback?
I think they're very good. Like national champion good. One of a handful of teams that probably can do that, win a national championship. And the fact that they've got 2 guys that can play quarterback is a luxury very few teams have. So, I think it's great for Texas. I've had them number 1 in my bowl projections since, I guess, since they beat Michigan.
Fair.
But because I had Georgia number 1, and then when Texas beat Michigan, I think I switched it. So. Georgia losing to Alabama didn't change anything. Alabama losing now doesn't change anything because I never had them end of season number 1, either one of them. But the Oklahoma game, I mean, that's a rivalry game, so you can't just discount Oklahoma because, strange stuff happens in that game. But, Texas is a 14-point favorite for a reason, and I think you got to like them in this one.
Yeah, but I like 14 in a rivalry game like that. Kind of ignoring the gigantic.
Well, and I think it's even 14.5, which makes it even more likable.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing, ignoring the gigantic elephant in the room. I mean, Eugene, Oregon, number 2 and number 3, Ohio State and Oregon in a conference game up there. Autson's going to be off the chain. My nephew's got tickets where he's telling me the town's just bouncing. That's this week's game of the year, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2 weeks after we had Georgia and Alabama at the game of the year.
Right.
So this is great. It's not like Ohio State is familiar with playing at Autzen. You go on the road. You're in a conference. You go on the road conference games. You've probably been in that stadium before, or at least enough people on your roster have been in that stadium before, and you're not really fazed by it. It's not a new thing necessarily. But this will definitely be new for Ohio State. Autzen Stadium is. That place rocks, and they're only going to put about 63,000 people in there, maybe with standing room only stuff, and which I read yesterday, could be the largest crowd ever in the state of Oregon for an event, a sporting event, which blows my mind. And the current record holder is a estimated 63,000 for an Indy race in Portland. For that.
I never saw that. Oh.
So it's going to be electric in there. It won't be as loud as some of the really big stadiums, but it's going to be plenty loud and raucous and very hostile environment up there. I like Oregon in that game, but Gabriel is going to have to play well. I mean, he's not going to have a lot of margin for error. He's not going to be able to turn the ball over against Ohio State and expect to be able to win that game.
Yeah, it's interesting that you like Oregon. Watching some of these new matchups, right? SC goes to Minnesota and gets beat. Michigan goes across the country, goes to Washington, gets beat. We got Ohio State going to Oregon this week. I think SC gets Penn State this week.
They could. They could. It's funny because I don't know. Somebody at SC said that they were going to come into the Big Ten and roll, and they're 0-2 on the road.
That's right.
Michigan and Minnesota. Life on the road. I wondered how these road games were going to be for the former Pac-12 teams who are now have to go at least 2 time zones to play anybody except themselves. So far, not so good for USC.
Well, but it's the same thing for the teams.
They're just not very good, but
it's the same for the teams going the other way, right? I mean,
absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's a little different in that every road game for those Pac-12 teams. So they're gonna make at least 4 of those trips. Like UCLA is making 6 of those trips.
Which is stupid.
Those really long trips this year because they played at Hawaii in non-conference play. They played at LSU in non-conference play, and they just don't have any other than I think USC, which might be a home game. I think all of their road games, are just crazy distances. It may not be that way for everybody else, but it's if you're in the Big Ten, you're not making more than 1 or 2 trips out there in one season, so it's a little more manageable. This will be Ohio State's first road game, I think, at all.
Yeah, just like it was Michigan's last week. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I think it's the wear and tear thing's a little bit different, but there's still an adjustment to flying 3 time zones away and playing a game. But I think that'll be the least of Ohio State's problems. I think that the fact that Oregon is pretty good in the stadium is a tough environment is our bigger problems.
Jerry, what do you make of the magical Miami finishes the last 2 weeks and them staying alive?
Well, what I make of the last one is I went to bed way too early.
Yeah. You're trying to learn where targeting is.
Speaking of long trips, that was a long trip for Miami. With 25 points down and came back and won. And I guess there was a controversial call in that game as well. So that's 2 in a row where Miami got the benefit of a call that's controversial. I'm really not sure about the Virginia Tech one. I'm not sure I saw what the officials say they saw, but they're living on the edge, which is not a good idea, especially in a conference where you really should be dominating virtually everybody, except maybe Clemson in that league. So they got to get back to being focused and playing their best football, because eventually it'll come back to bite them if they don't.
All right, don't look now. Those of you who haven't, Colorado's 4-1, 2-0 in the Big 12. They get Kansas State, who's 18. This could be a gigantic win for Colorado if they could get this. Kansas State's only 4.5-point favorite. This is in Boulder. This is the sneaky huge game this week.
It's the first actual test for Colorado, I think. Who beat them? Was that Nebraska?
Yeah.
Nebraska beat them on the road.
Yeah.
This is, I think, the best team that they've played so far. Because their other games, the games that they won, they didn't really play anybody of any significance. So, this is really going to be the one where we find out if Colorado's for real. Kansas State's a pretty good defensive team. Colorado's got some weapons. So we'll see, how they do in a game of this caliber. I like Kansas State. I want Colorado to show me.
Yeah, fair. All right, lastly, do you have I'm not going to ask you who you're going to vote for. Do you have a Heisman vote?
I do not. In fact, I think I might be the only American who does not have a Heisman.
I think JJ does, right? Don't you still?
I do have a Heisman.
Yeah, I've got a Naismith vote.
Yeah.
I don't have a Heisman vote. What do you make of Ashton Genty, the running back?
Heisman is the only award I don't vote for.
Is that right? Who cares about the Heisman, right? I'm kidding. That was sarcasm. What do you think of Ashton Genty at Boise State? It's rare. In fact, I can't even find the last guy, and I think Marshall Faulk got robbed by Gino Torretta back in the day. It's hard to be from a non-power school and being even considered. But, dude, Ashton Genty's legit.
Yeah, well, and, you think I think LaDainian Tomlinson before TCU was in the Big 12.
I think that's right. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's really good.
And so that year, he finished fourth. Drew Brees finished third. Do you remember who finished 1 and 2?
I do not.
Yeah, two forgettable quarterbacks. Josh Heupel, who's now coaching,
right,
and Chris Winkie. The quarterbacks of the number 1 and 2 teams.
And that's how it works, right? That was the Gino Torretta over Marshall.
Players in that group of finalists were clearly Brees and Tomlinson. And Tomlinson was the number 1 or one of the very high pick in the draft. And anyways,
I brought that up to Marshall.
The NFL and the other guys are doing other things. So,
fair.
So it is hard. I like Genty. I think he's terrific. If I had a vote, he would certainly be on my ballot, no question. I don't know. Maybe Cam Ward, but I don't. None of the quarterbacks are just
exactly
exciting me enough to like Texas. If their guys stay healthy, it's like Quinn Ewers. If he can finish the season healthy,
sure.
Jalen Milroe. I think those guys have a shot, in large part because of who they play for. And we'll see how, like Will Howard at Ohio State does, and, if Gabriel bounces back. And, a lot of it is based on team success. And Boise State is certainly going to have team success, and he doesn't have any competition at all at running back. So I like Genty. I like him as a pro. I think, I don't know if he'll win the Heisman Trophy or not. That would be remarkable. But he would certainly be on my ballot if I had one.
Well, and look, it's hard when you're not a power school, and certainly when you're out west. And that was, Marshall. I brought it up to Marshall Faulk a couple of years ago, and I think it still bothers him, right? That's one of those.
Well,
but
and he was terrific.
He was unbelievable.
And LaDainian Tomlinson had a very good case as well.
Yes.
Certainly Brees and Tomlinson should have been 1 too. Take your pick. Brees rewrote record books.
Yes.
LaDainian Tomlinson was just a force of nature. And the other two guys happened to be the stewards of good teams.
Yep.
And that's really all they ever were. So
that's all they became.
But the Heisman is not really about the best player. It's about the best player on a very good team.
Yeah, fair enough. Read him every day over on CBSSports.com. Follow him on the X. It's at JP Palm CBS. It's good to talk to you, my friend. Enjoy the week. We'll catch you next Thursday.
All right, thanks.
Be well. He is Jerry Palm. It's great. I enjoy Jerry so much. He gets it. You can respond to what he said. We'll reset for you as well. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Jerry, you can respond to anything he said at 505-246-0610. Got a bunch coming in. on everything that's going on. Let me tell you about the Albuquerque. I'll do this when we come back. Yeah, no, I just looked at the clock. I just saw that. New Mexico State loses last night to Jacksonville State 54-13. You guys are loving it. I get more, I think, well, we'll find out because the Lobos just won one game. More response on the text line about the Aggies losing than the Lobos winning. Don't you think? People just revel in it.
Yes, you enjoy other people's failures, and that is one of the things I'm in sport. It's not the team you dislike, it's the fans.
Yeah.
And that's where it comes from. That's where you get the most reaction is the shots at the opposing fan base, baby.
This one says, Tony Sanchez boldly told us that 10 wins were now the expectations at mighty NMSU. He actually meant 10 losses. Okay. I got a question. You know what? I didn't listen close enough because I was flipping back and forth. I want to listen again now that Steve Addazio was the commentator on the Aggie game. Did you notice that?
No.
Deutsch says, what do you think, Jeffy, of Steve Addazio, even in the third quarter, saying it was time to start saving some team? There was nothing to be gained by coaches keeping their whips out. He was talking about the Jacksonville State, New Mexico State game. Steve Addazio is the former Temple coach. He won, I want to say, the 5th New Mexico Bowl back when they beat Wyoming. He was with Temple. That was a really good team. Then he went up to Colorado State, and it didn't work at Colorado State. It didn't work at all at Colorado State. Yeah. Well, he was at Boston College in between. He went from Temple to Boston College to Colorado State. But yeah, I didn't even realize it was him on the game. I don't know Doyd. I didn't hear that, but I get it. All right, I'm going to reset for you at the top. We're going to talk some NFL stuff, injury stuff, some of the big games. We got a big one tonight. We got a big baseball today. I'm going to give you the latest on Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. They play the Jets this week. Remember, he got rocked the other day. Will he play? Quarterback situation. And we'll take your calls at 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
ripped,
plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on? Who are you guys? Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Big games today in the playoffs. You could have your American League Championship Series set by tomorrow, or you could not. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0 in Detroit yesterday. Yankees over the Royals 3-2. Both the winners have a 2-1 lead in a best-of-5 series. You can close it out tonight, or they cannot. We'll see how that goes. Dodgers beat the Padres last night, 8-0, behind 8 pitchers to force a Game 5, decisive Game 5, back in Chavez Ravine. That will be on Friday. Don't know who's going to be. I'm going to guess Yamamoto, right? Is that your guess for L.A.?
Solid guess.
Okay. And then probably Michael King for the Padres. We'll see. 505-246-0610. Also last night, New Mexico State football on the road at Jacksonville State. They get beat 54-13. Aggies fall to 1-5 and 0-3 in Conference USA. New Mexico United got beat at home out at the ball pitch. Phoenix Rising beat them 2-1. And New Mexico State men win the NB3 Challenge Collegiate Golf Tournament out at the match play out at Twin Warriors. They beat Texas, Stanford, and New Mexico. The Texas women and the Texas overall of the Longhorns win those two championships. Been a nice win for New Mexico State there. There was some breaking news this morning, and I do want to hit this because I think it's significant. I know it's not the NFL, and I know it's not, you know, what a lot of you love, but many of you do. Rafael Nadal announced he's going to retire from tennis at the end of the year, and he's 38 years old. And when you start having the conversation about the GOATs, he's in it. He won 22 Grand Slams, 14 French Opens, but he's been hampered by injuries lately, and he announced Thursday that this will be his final year. He'll play for Spain against Netherlands in the Davis Cup in November, and that'll be his final act on the court. And look, this has been a golden era from, you know, with Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, and I mean, it's been a goal. If you like the tennis, this has been a golden era in tennis, especially on the men's side. There haven't been American men, so in some respects, this country and mainstream has been left out of it a little bit. It wasn't, you know, like when, and this before your time, but when Jimmy Connors and John McEnroe were really good, and there was Bjorn Borg, and you got just great tennis players on the men's side. It was an era of women for American tennis because it was Serena and Venus. But Nadal's as good as it is. So I think that's a significant announcement this morning, don't you? I mean, when we're going to start talking about the great athletes of this century, because, you know, I mean, we're going to hit 2025 next year. We're going to start having the best athletes of the quarter century.
Years
of the quarter century.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You mentioned what Nadal did, but then Federer being in there, this fantastic group of players that are winning Grand Slams, putting up ridiculous stats and victories in the game of tennis. It absolutely is a marquee one. And, you know, it's kind of like the, you know, Brady Manning type of deal, like just going back and forth, the best at the top, always going to be compared. What an era of tennis it was.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. This also came down this morning. And I think this is going to surprise a lot of people. The Jets have made a coaching change. Oh, Jeff, I know they fired Robert Saleh. No. The Jets have made another coaching change. Well, what do you mean, Jeff? Jeff Albrecht's the coach, right? Yeah. But the Jets made another coaching change. JJ, Nathaniel Hackett will not be the offensive play caller moving forward. Todd Downing will replace Nathaniel Hackett as the Jets' offensive play caller for Jeff Albrecht. That was announced this morning. So Hackett remains the offensive coordinator. I don't know how the hell this is going to work. But Downing, the passing game coordinator, will call the plays. It's a big decision by Albrecht. He was promoted yesterday to interim head coach after they fired Robert Saleh. Albrecht also announced that he will retain his title, defensive coordinator. He will call the defensive plays. He talked to Aaron. Because everybody, I mean, how's Aaron going to be? And Albrecht, the new head coach, said Aaron Rodgers understood, in quotes, the decision to demote Nathaniel Hackett. This is significant, dude. This is going to go one way or the other. There's no middle ground on this, dude. Either they're going to become way better and more creative, and Rodgers is going to click on this play calling, or this is going to go off the freaking rails.
Yeah, this leads me more and more to believing that there was a significant issue between Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh.
That Rodgers wanted Hackett to remain in that job and Saleh didn't? Is that what you're saying?
No, but Hackett doesn't have that job. He's not calling plays.
He did. He's
not calling plays now.
Now he's not. No, that's right. Right.
So the Robert Saleh thing has nothing there because that's what Robert Saleh was going to do, was take away the play calling duties.
But then he got fired.
Yeah. So to me, it's more of a Rodgers versus Saleh issue than anything with Hackett, because Hackett's not calling plays. So that was what Saleh was going to do. So Saleh even didn't change that.
I think this is significant. I really do.
Like, this is just a mess that I don't see how this is pushing the Jets in a better direction.
Well,
and it just leads me to believe that there was a lot more there with the Rodgers and stuff.
Look, something had to happen because offensively they're bad. Defensively, they're good. You got a head coach now who's going to continue to call the plays defensively. It's going to be interesting to see if the defense takes a hit, right? Because when you become a head coach, you got a whole lot more to do than just be defensive coordinator. And I think he's going to find that out. The issue has been their offense. They scored 9 points against the Broncos, who are a good defense. So now I got the same offensive coordinator. So, and I don't even know how this works. So my offensive coordinator in Hackett is going to continue to design the offense all week long.
Be a
He's
part
going
of game planning,
to find
but
the plan, and then Downing's going to call the plays on game day
Downing's going to be the one sending them into Rodgers.
into the magic green dot helmet. I mean, we'll see. They got a Bills team who I don't want to say kind of got to win, but it's a big game for the Bills coming off a disgusting loss the other day. They play on Monday Night Football, right?
Yes, they do.
That's really good stuff. All right, so that's going on in the NFL right now. Saints have turned to Spencer Rattler as their quarterback. The Raiders have gone to Aiden O'Connell as their quarterback. The Patriots have gone to Drake May as their quarterback. A whole lot of change as we hit the second weekend of October in the National Football League. 505-246-0610 is where you can get in on it. Jets fan, where's our dude? Where's Jets fan? How do you feel? I mean, I'm just telling you, either this turns your season around one way or you continue to go down the path, and it doesn't have a good feel to it. It just doesn't. I mean, maybe you believe in Rodgers and he's going to figure it out, but you tell me how I'm supposed to have a good feel if I'm a Jets fan. Well, you just fired your coach, and, okay, was he really the issue? Well, you just addressed the issue. Well, did I? But he's still the offensive coordinator. Is it all about the play calling, or is it about the plan and the design? You figure it out. 505-246-0610. Hey, holiday parties are coming up. You're going to start getting a whole bunch of opportunities and where you're going to go. If you are planning a party, and I don't care if it's a holiday party or a wedding reception or a gala or whatever, I really, really suggest when you're looking at venues, get a hold of the people over at the Albuquerque Convention Center. And I think they're going to solve your problem. They're going to be your spot, whether it's your company party, your bridal reception, whatever it is. They have 600,000 square feet plus of beautiful, versatile indoor and outdoor meeting space right in the heart of downtown Albuquerque. Convenience, elegance, and incredible diversity. When you talk about their menu, they'll do whatever you want. I mean, their staff goes above and beyond. You've been to events there. You know how great the place is and how good the food is. I was just over the summer, I emceed the Hall of Fame banquet. 700 people. They got fed like that. And the food was really, really good. We do an Isleta, New Mexico Bowl event there every year. They take care of our people. Right in the heart of downtown Albuquerque with a parking garage adjacent to the building, so it's easy in and out. Call them, whether your group is 10 people or 20,000 people. Galas, conventions, parties. Albuquerque Convention Center. AlbuquerqueCC.com. That's where it all is. AlbuquerqueCC.com. Or call them at 505-768-4575. 505-768-4575. It's the Albuquerque Convention Center. Be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated.
When I'm looking at some of the pictures out of Florida, it's just insane. Wishes, thoughts, love. The people who are dealing with the tornado, or well, there's tornadoes now. Hurricane cleanup. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. 505-246-0610. If you would like to get in, you can do that. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, thoughts and prayers, as people always say. That's really tragic. I mean, we live in such a great place. The weather has been just absolutely spectacular the last week.
Yep.
What a way to order it up for the balloon fiesta, right?
Perfect.
Unbelievable. Hey, so I'm pretty geeked about last night. That was insane. Dodgers run 8 pitchers out there.
Yep.
Give up 7 hits, no runs, only 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts, and shut out the Padres on their own field. So that's pretty satisfying. I know a lot of people hate the Dodgers, but I've always been a Dodgers fan, and I just thought that was one of the all-time great performances, and people who are honking about Dave Roberts need to just back off, because he set the stage for that, and when you're a manager and you come up with that plan, that's pretty spectacular.
It's because you had to. Yeah, at least for another day or two, they're off of Dave Roberts. Let's see what happens on Friday.
Well, I mean, at least they're there. How many teams, JJ's a Rockies fan. I'm sure he'd be pretty excited to be the division champion 8 years in a row.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
no doubt.
You can always look at your glass as half empty. I always look at it as half full. And speaking of half full, Saturday, 5 p.m., I know there's somebody out there listening right now, Jeff, that's on the fence about whether they should go to the Lobo game or not. Show up. Just give Bronco and his team a chance, and I think you're going to like it. I think you're going to like the product. Everybody that I've talked to that was skeptical goes, they actually play pretty good football. I'm like, yeah, they try hard. They're competitive, and they're getting better. So the whole key to Saturday is the defense stepping up and doing something. And if they can do anything at all to stop the Air Force run and force them to throw, I think that plays right into the Lobos' hands, because I think they have a decent pass defense, and they've seen some pretty good passing teams. Arizona and Auburn and Fresno State. So I'd like to see them get on a roll. I'd like to see them win this game and then see if they can maybe win 3 in a row, and maybe people will get excited. I've always been excited about Lobo football, but that's just me.
Yep.
So hopefully I'll be joined by 25,000 other people Saturday.
See you at
That
the
would be
tailgate.
nice.
Yeah, see you at the tailgate.
Yep. Okay.
Later.
Thanks.
All right. So you want to know who's not going? I mean, I got people who are not going. I mean, Maurice isn't going, JJ. I mean, and it's not even you can change the game time for Maurice. He ain't going. Jeff, I'm not going to the game. The folks I was going to go with pulled out. They notified me yesterday they were frustrated with mercenaries, the unforced breakup of the MWC, etc. So they're redshirting the rest of the college football season, and they probably won't renew their tickets in 2025, depending on how all the dominoes fall. All right. It's not for you. Look, honestly, I'm not mad at you, but if you're frustrated with transfers, college sports ain't your game anymore. It's just not. Go with pro sports. Where wait, they move around too. Wait, you mean pro sports? They have free agency and they move around too, don't they? By the way, I was thinking about the dude yesterday, JJ, who called and said the new AD's got to get this together. If you're going to play at 5:00 on Saturday on True TV, then it's got to be every Saturday. Is that how the Cowboys do it? Is that how the NFL does it? What league does that? One week the Cowboys play on Fox at noon or 11, and the next week they play on ESPN on Monday, and the next week they play on Prime on Thursday. And then, I mean, but the Lobos have to figure it out, because you can't look at the schedule and then plan accordingly. Help me understand that.
I can, Jeff.
Okay. All right, this one says, it's Glenn. He says, obviously I'm concerned, Jeff. A vacant athletic director chair, a shaky Mountain West Conference, and I haven't heard a word from Michelle Lujan Newsom, Stokes, the Board of Regents, etc., about expedited investments in new facilities, etc. It's from Glenn. No, you haven't heard a word from anybody in regards to the athletic department. And with all due respect, and David's doing what he's doing, but you haven't heard much from the interim athletic director either, right? It's been eerily quiet this week on the realignment front. Almost nervously, is that right? Eerily quiet. The Pac-12 went on pause because they've hired a firm to reevaluate or to evaluate what they think that their media rights are going to be worth. The Mountain West, last we heard, was talking with Hawaii about becoming a full-time member. But JJ, because these things go rapid fire, right? Once one team's in, they're out, and they're out, and they're out. Okay, boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
It got quiet, and you're still teetering on the wrong side of level as far as the Mountain West Conference and teams to survive. Now, I have no doubt they're going to get there. I don't, assuming everybody stays who's in, the 7 teams who are in, I don't doubt that they're going to get to their minimum and they're going to be a conference and they're going to move forward. Who is it going to be? You know, I know y'all were here in Tarleton, and nobody got excited, and I understand why. Nobody knows what a Tarleton is, let alone where a Tarleton is, right? But I don't know. It's been really quiet. I would ask Glenn, what do you want to hear? Now, I know what he's specific in this. He wants to hear from, he says, the governor and from the president and from the Board of Regents that UNM has money and they're investing in facilities and they're going to get better. I don't even know if you're going to hear that, JJ, because it's almost too late for that. No, it's not too late to get better. It's not too late to finally do the right thing. But as far as this round of...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like anything that happens is going to get you into a conference right now. But you want to have confidence. You want to have stability in the future of what you're doing. And you've said it all the time, and it's what I believe. Like, Division I athletics matter in the state of New Mexico. And if you're going to do it the best you can, and that does come from seeing if you can get more investment from the state, because they play a role in collegiate athletics.
Well, I mean, it's a state university, but from wherever you're going to get it. Dan says he loves Wednesday games, Jeffrey and Juan Jose. Frees up Saturday to tackle that busy to-do list or watch more intriguing games on TV. Lobo fans say it would kill attendance, but people aren't going to games anyway. You had 17,000 announced on a gorgeous Saturday against Montana State, who would probably win your league if the Bobcats were in the Mountain West Conference. Well, all due respect, they're not better than UNLV and Boise State. And they barely beat Lobos, right? They were down 31-17 the fourth, but they did win. They did win. I'm not sure I'm ready to tell you Montana State would win your league, but I'm going to guess if you gave them the same funding and gave them 2 years, they'd be competitive in your league. He wants to play all the games on Wednesday, so then he can give me a reason why he wouldn't go. Right? Well, I mean, I'm watching the Dodgers play.
Watch it on a Wednesday night.
Oh, okay. Would he? Or would you watch the Dodgers? What did you watch last night?
I watched a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I flipped around too. I did too. This one says, Mike says Shohei Ohtani equals Steven Strasburg, Jeffaloo. Remember the Washington Nationals didn't play him in the state tournament, trying to save his arm for the future? Well, the Washington Nationals never sniffed the state tournament again. He's saying they should pitch Shohei tomorrow. Look, Shohei hasn't pitched all year. What makes you think a dude who hasn't pitched all year coming off of Tommy John is all of a sudden going to go in a decisive Game 5 and save your season? Just because he's that dude and it's some crazy story and it would happen and you could write the book? And would it be surprising if he threw an inning? It would be, but it wouldn't stun me. But, I mean, if you're Dave Roberts, would you have pitched Shohei yesterday or today?
No, it's not smart with the investment that you put into him. And
$700 million?
He hasn't been training to get back to pitching this season. If you want to keep the door open next year, you're not throwing him right now. By the way, what does that even mean? The Nationals won a World Series with Steven Strasburg.
Yeah. Remember the year they shut him down?
Okay, and what?
Yeah.
Then they got back and won a World Series. And obviously there was a lot more with his body. So, and that's what the Dodgers are trying to do. They didn't miss that window because they came back and Nationals won a World Series title and Steven Strasburg was pitching for that team.
Bourne says at least pro sports have contracts, Jeff. You don't see many guys tapping out 4 games of the season at the school they just arrived at because they want more money. You don't have Diego Pivia just into his Vandy career putting hands out saying he's open for business. Fair. They have contracts. By the way, there's not an...
They don't have to do that because of the money in their contracts.
Right.
And they are doing ads and stuff. And there's...
Yeah, your point's right.
The amount of kids that are leaving after 4 games, it's still a really small percentage.
I was going there because I had this conversation on a call yesterday. The amount... How many kids bailed after playing 3 or 4 games? Like, I know it's under 20, and is it going to become an epidemic? I don't think so. But to your point on Diego, what's the difference between him making whatever he's making? Let's just say he's making $100,000. I don't know what the number is. And going out and saying, hey, you call my agent if you want NIL stuff. And Travis Kelce making what he's making with the Chiefs and doing every damn commercial on my TV. What's the difference? Right? That's extra money. Isn't that his NIL? I don't know why you're so mad at it. 505-246-0610. By the way, Diego did put out his agent's number on the tweeter.
It's brilliant.
Yes. I mean, what? I don't know. Why would that bother you? Oklahoma State's got barcodes on the back of their helmets if you want to tip the players. They do. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Dirty Boys present
service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Since UNM has a firm looking for the next AD, does that mean the interim athletic director will not get a shot at it? When do you estimate the time they will announce a new AD? It does not mean he will not get a shot at it. He will be, he's, from everything I understand, David wants the job. He has applied for the job, and we'll go through the process, as will any other internal candidates. I know, I believe Ed Manzanares is interested, the former athletic director at New Mexico Highlands University. He's a New Mexico guy. So, and then all the external candidates. And when do I anticipate they announce? JJ, I'm going to guess somewhere around Christmas. You know, somewhere around mid-December. I mean, look, that's still 2 months away plus. I know it feels like a long time to go. Obviously, they're in no hurry, right?
Yeah, I don't, at this point, speeding it up just to speed it up, it's not going to change where you were, where you are at the Pac-12. It's the process you want to get right.
I mean, right. Bourne didn't like the comparison. Diego Pavia putting out his manager's or his agent's number on the tweeter, saying, "Hey, here's NIL opportunities. Call him." Comparing him to Travis Kelce, he says Travis Kelce is professional. Jeff, Diego Pavia is an amateur student athlete.
They're not amateurs anymore, man.
Yeah. If Diego wants to go pro, then cash in. More power to him. So everybody around Diego should cash in, but Diego can't. The model, the model has changed. To hold
and that's
on,
what the model is supposed to be. Like, hey, opportunities.
And that's what NIL is. Right. And to your point, you're 100% right. The model wasn't supposed to be pay for play, but in fact was supposed to be name, image, and likeness. Hit me up and I'll endorse your product. And
so he's just trying to capitalize on the way it should be. Now it is pay for play, and we're getting salary caps around the corner,
yes,
and all that stuff. But if it's just under your skin so much, and
why
you said it, like, I'm sorry, man, college sports has passed you by. Stop complaining about it. It's not changing.
Why are you mad at that kid and not? I mean, JT Toppin got $1.2 million by every report to go to Texas Tech. You mad at him?
Lobo fans are. Why would you leave New Mexico?
What about the ones that are here making what they're making? You mad at them?
As long as they're winning, nope.
And with all due respect, most of those guys are making more than most of us. And they're college athletes. Reality. Most of the guys on your college basketball team that you really like probably making more than most of you guys are. Most of us are. And I think that's where some of this animosity comes from. Deion said it, about 4 weeks ago? He says, y'all are jealous because these guys are making more money than you. Right? He said that to the media. Remember when he said it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's
some
totally
people
off
absolutely
base.
Have that.
Yes. But Bourne, yeah, Kelsey's a professional, but with all due respect, this amateur student athlete thing, they can't make money anymore? That's not the model. They're getting paid. They have the opportunity to cash in. If Diego Pavia was your kid, Bourne, you wouldn't advise him to take advantage? Is he ever going to be hotter than he is right now? Is Diego Pavia going to be an NFL player? Maybe. Odds are against him, correct? Is Diego Pavia ever going to be able to make more money playing football than he is now and in the next month and a half? The answer could be no. Now, look, I'm not going to bet against this kid to make the NFL because I'm done betting against Diego Pavia. But if he was your kid and he was as hot as he is right now, you wouldn't suggest to Diego to cash in on what's going on right now? You stopped college football last Saturday. You and Vanderbilt, but you, right? I don't understand why you're angry with this young man in regards to that. I mean, if you want to be angry with him for peeing on your logo, I got that part.
Well, it sounds like someone that's just angry with the whole system.
Okay, but how come? So then why aren't you mad at JT Toppin or Caleb Williams or pick your college football player? Right? I mean, this young man's not the only one who's out there trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of him. He's not doing anything illegal. He's not doing anything immoral. In this regard, in this instance. And again, you guys, Bourne and Maurice, and look, I get it. I don't love it either. Okay, I don't. I love the fact that the student athlete is getting compensated and taken care of. I'm not a big fan of where this is going. I don't love the realignment. I don't love the constant transfer thing, but it's where it is. And you and I and everybody else who likes or liked current or past tense college athletics, we got a decision to make. It's easy. I mean, if you don't like it, it's not your thing anymore. But to complain about it, back when I was a kid, they were amateurs, and that's cool, man. Good story, great memories. But it could be college athletics just isn't your thing anymore. I see your face. You're like, yes. Right?
Like you can keep complaining about it. It's not going backward. It's only going forwards. And the hope is there's some understandable system for everyone to work with moving forward.
I promised you an update on Josh Allen, didn't I? He practiced yesterday a little bit. Bills don't play till Monday, so they're not going to release their first practice report until after today. He's not in concussion protocol. Quote, Josh Allen, I obviously went into the tent. I can only control what I can control. When we talked about there, they deemed me cleared to play. That's what happened. That's as deep as I'll get into it. Josh Allen. Look, it looked like he was concussed. It looked like he was rocked. His head bounced off the turf pretty hard. I saw what you saw. I'm not a doctor. No, I'm going to guess neither are you. And even if you are, you probably didn't examine the young man while you were there. Do we all have our thoughts? Yeah. He went back in the game, didn't complete another pass after that. I thought they managed the end of that game horribly and lost the game as opposed to... Who'd they play? Who the hell did they play?
They're in Houston.
Houston. Yeah. So, Bourne, I am mad at Toppin, Dent, etc. I don't mind them making money. The more the better, but it should be done at the professional level. So you basically okay, but it's not. I mean, they're going to make money at the college level. That's the way it is. And so if you're going to be mad, but that's the model, Bourne. I don't know what to tell you. Bourne says that basically what he's saying is college athletes should be making money. I don't mind them making money. The more the better, but it should be done at the professional level.
So you do mind them making money? Because they're not professionals.
As college athletes, he does, yeah.
Well, the system, it got to a point where no one thought this was going to be a billion-dollar industry. And you're changing conferences and you're chasing television deals. And with that system, you're going to have to realize that those with the talents were going to get theirs at some point in time. And for a lot of these athletes, as upset as you are, this is their most marketable time. Because you can be really good in college and not ever get professional opportunities to make money.
If you want the argument that it's making college better, and I know you're not going to buy this, but the college athletes are sticking around longer. They are. Because they realize they can make more money playing at Old State U or Old University of whomever than they can by A, going to sell insurance or whatever their next job is going to be, or B, playing overseas. So you got a lot more guys staying in school 4 or 5 years. Now, are they staying at your school? Maybe not. But they're staying in college football, college basketball, they're staying there a lot longer. I mean, that's not even arguable. Look at how many more seniors there are in college basketball than there were 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago. I get it, man. Like it's not how it used to be. And you don't even have to like it. I totally understand. And Bourne, you're mad because the system changed and these guys are making money as college players. They are. Call them pros. They basically are pros. That's how it is. It's not going back. Like I said, man, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. He's mad at Toppin, Dent, all of them for making money at the college level. Okay. Hey, when we come back, we'll wrap it up. And when did the Browns bench their $230 million quarterback? Or do they? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM.
Quarterback situation that I don't know how you get out of. They are 1-4. They play the Eagles on the road. When do they make a switch at quarterback, or do they? Deshaun Watson is 26th. He's ranked 26th in quarterback as far as total yardage. He's not only behind Justin Fields, who doesn't throw the ball, and Derek Carr and Gardner Minshew, who just got benched, and Daniel Jones. He's behind Bo Nix, barely ahead of Jacoby Brissett, who just got benched. JJ, they're 1-4. At what point do they just say, and I guess why would you bench him? Because where are you going at 1-5? Who are you going to? What are you trying to prove? And it's not like you got a young stud behind him. But holy smokes, at some point it just didn't work.
But at some point, what you're doing is everyone is trying to save face, from Jimmy Haslam to Kevin Stefanski to the general managers, because Stefanski and GM could just go out there and be like, yo, this is really bad. We can't keep doing this. We're benching Deshaun Watson. And Haslam would just walk right in there and say, all right, all y'all are gone. Someone has to make this work.
Yeah, but it's not this guy. And are you saving face, or are you making it worse for yourself each week?
You could ask how. Well, if people ask, well, how can this keep happening? That's how. Yeah. You have an owner that says, you better make this work. Like this, it's Deshaun Watson. And if you can't do it, I'm getting someone else who can.
Dude was dynamic, wasn't he? When he was in Houston in his prime before his whole rub and tug episode.
Yeah, he had a double-digit lead at halftime at Kansas City in the playoffs. In the second half, they lost that game, and it was downhill ever since.
Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
Good morning. As always, you and JJ spurn good thoughts and energy, and I want to share this with your listeners. But first and foremost, Fields needs to be benched. He was horrible. And the Patriots are going to start May. He will be injured within 12 quarters of play. Within the next 3 games, the previous quarterback was rushed and hit at like 67% of his dropback passes. It's a disaster. Hey, this whole thing about paying athletes, let me take this. I think people are sequestered to their own line of thinking, right? And they can't think forward. This kid from Alabama who's 17, who electrified when they played Georgia, he electrified the country. What's to say that your nephew isn't a phenom athlete and he's a sophomore, junior in high school? And they say, okay, in the University of Georgia, we're willing to give you $5 million, but here's the stipulation. You're not going to play high school football. You're not going to play high school football. And we want you to complete your education at our institution and follow our workout regimen, right? That's where this is headed. I'm just letting people know. He could be 15, he could be 16, or a female athlete and say, we're willing to invest in you, but you're going to play by our bylaws. Your high school career is now over, and we'll give you competitive games to play in. And I'm just drawing an example, right? You could fill in the gaps as you will. But that's exactly where this is headed. And it's probably already happening. So
guys are reclassifying. There's plenty of guys who once they commit, skip their senior season in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. And so just think of it. This has been going on for decades in youth hockey and in European soccer, right? So it's going to matriculate its way to American sports, and it's going to take over. So if you either have to, like you said, either embrace it or
it's
don't
not
watch.
your thing. Yeah, it's
right?
not your thing.
So you're going to have to make a decision.
Yeah,
anyway, I just spurned thought, and I thought I'd share with you. Maybe it's a conversation for tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
have a great day, guys.
Thanks. Look, and this is a hard one for a lot of people, and I understand the Bournes and the Maurices, and I get it, right? You watch this is how change is hard, man. Change is really hard. And the change we're seeing in college athletic has been seismic over the last decade and over the last year. And it's not what you loved, and if that's not your thing anymore, I get it. But I'm just trying to save you some heartache, to be mad at 20, 18 to 22-year-old young man for making money because they're in college and they're not pro. It feels misguided to me. And again, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. If that's what makes you, if you get angry because of that, okay. But I'm mad at Toppin and Dent, not for making money, but making money as college athletes and not pro. It's the way it is now, man. And again, the majority. Your point is the key point here. A couple of them. One, that's just the way it is. It's they're getting paid now. But B, the majority of these guys will make more money now. This is where they are maximizing what they can monetize via athletics in their whole life. We always talk about pro sports, pro athletes, and they make a lot of money, but yet their window is so short to make the money, right? Basically, the really good ones have a 20-year window, from 20 to 40 years old, right? The really, really good. If you're fortunate, you can make money playing sports for 10 years. I mean, Tony Snell wishes he could have done 10 years, right? So now the window's expanded a little bit, but for many of these guys, this is their window. Now, how many of these college athletes that you love, that you watch, that are making some NIL money, and Diego Pavia might be the perfect example of this, are going to make millions of dollars playing in the NFL? But he's let them. I mean, the system's set up now where he's monetizing it now. Why are you mad at the kid? What did somebody once say? Don't hate the player, hate the game, right?
Yeah, and I think plenty hate the game, but then that falls onto the athletes for just playing the game.
Yeah. All right, what do you got to know as you go through your day? Baseball last night. Dodgers beat the Padres 8-0. Decisive Game 5 will be in L.A. on Friday. Mets beat the Phillies 4-1. Mets advance to take to the National League Championship Series. They await the winner of the Dodgers and Padres. Tigers beat the Guardians 3-0. Tigers are up 2-1 in that American League Divisional Series. Yankees beat the Royals 3-2. Yankees have a 2-1 lead as well. New Mexico State loses in football last night at Jacksonville State 54-13. Aggies fall to 1-5 overall, 0-3 in Conference USA. Phoenix Rising beats New Mexico United out of the ball pitch 2-1. New Mexico United will wait another day before they can clinch home field advantage throughout the Western Conference playoffs. New Mexico State men win the men's team championship in the match play, the NB3 match play championship out at Twin Warriors yesterday. Texas, Stanford, and New Mexico were the other teams involved. And Rafael Nadal announced this morning that this will be his final season playing professional tennis. He is going to retire. You get Monday Night Football tonight right here on The Sports Animal. What was it, 5:30 is when our coverage starts, somewhere right around there. You will get the 49ers and the Seattle Sea Chickens up in the Pacific Northwest. Did I miss anything? Anything gigantic? Oh, and Aaron Rodgers said it wasn't me. Oh, and Nathaniel Hackett has been removed as the play caller of the Jets. He is still the offensive coordinator, but will not be play caller anymore. That's really interesting to me to see how that's going to work. Who you got tonight? Niners, Seahawks. I'm on Seattle, dude. I love the 3.5, and I think they're going to win.
Go Niners. I think Brock Purdy.
Plus, are you laying the 3.5? I mean, this isn't going to go in our little free-for-all thing.
So I got the Niners. Still might take Seattle to points, but...
All right, but straight up. Got it. Thank you to Jerry Palm. He was with us today from CBS Sports. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd follows that. 2 Men On is here at 4 o'clock, and then you get award-winning radio with us again. Tomorrow morning, starting at 7 a.m., Adrian, great work on the visuals. Big day for you, huh?
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own